Hello, beautiful people. How is everybody doing today? Good evening. Welcome to the pre-show. We will be getting started in about 5 minutes, but as you all know, to show up early, this is the early birds party for the cool kids table. Let's take a look in the chat because I see you guys have already been partying already together. Looks like Mike flipped down the tailgate on his pickup and everybody's sitting around the campfire, hanging out, sitting on the tailgate. See, that's why I need to get a pickup truck. I need to get rid of this hatchback SUV thing and get a real pickup with a tailgate. And then I could do my live streams from my tailgate. How awesome would that be? You guys, a tailgate live stream. All right, now there's no question. I have to get my pickup. All right, so let's see who's here. Looks like we got the cool kids. Mike, you are not late. You were extremely early. Saying hello to Jen, who I haven't even seen in the chat. But Geraldine is here. Mike is saying the greatest show on Wednesday. It's funny you say that in this week's videos as I made my way through my week here. At one point I said, welcome back to the greatest YouTube channel in the universe or something like that. I'm gonna have to work on that. So you don't have anything for the simultaneous sip, Geraldine? That's a crime. That's a shame. As you can hear, I seem to be pretty darn healthy. I'm going to say I'm 99.9% fixed and healed. The 0.1% is because I do still occasionally have to cough once in a blue moon, but not very much. I'm doing pretty darn good, guys. No, Peter doesn't have a baby Ruth. Stop trying to bump candy bars off of people, Mike. That's not nice. You know better than that. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Looks like the queen of the face jokes is in the house, making the world a better place, one cool cat at a time. Your host winning the week. Very funny, Ali. What's up? And look who is here. Jenny. Who can I turn to? You give me something I can hang on to. Does anybody call you Jenny, or are you just a Jen? I bet you're just a Jen. You probably don't really go by Jenny. In fact, I bet it really pisses you off, and now that we said it, you're probably really angry with us, but that's okay. Lori's in the house. Hello, Lori. Wonderful to see you. I knew you'd be here because I was texting with you for the past half hour or 15 minutes or so. So I knew you'd be here. And look who's here, everyone. It's Peter. Peter's here. I'm so happy to see you, Peter. Good to see you. You're Jenny from the block. There you go. Very good. I like it. Jenny from the block. I don't like that song. But you can be Jenny. I don't even have a baby penguin. It's Allie. Hey, Mike. Oh, Tracy's here, everybody. Oh, now we can all let our hair down. Woo, Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy. You're doing so awesome with your videos lately. Your quotes with kitties. You say, hi, furry friends. Quotes with kitties. I love those videos. You're doing so great with them, and you're so relaxed. You look like you've been doing those videos for 100 years, which would be kind of hard for somebody who's only 29. And look, Emmy! Hello, Emily, with the pretty kitty cat avatar picture. What is your kitty cat's name? That's what we want to know. In case you're wondering, Suzuki is chilling here behind me. Let's do that. And you can see she's, if I tilt the camera down slightly, Suzuki is sleeping in her chair. I say her chair because she seems to have claimed it, as a cat will do. Another minute or so, and we'll start up the real thing, guys. Let's see here. I'm just going to scan through Jenny from the block badass version. That's exactly right. My friends played that song when I walked into my birthday. Played Jenny. That's cool. Hey, Warren's here. Awesome. Hey, Warren, I got a shout out for you later, so don't go anywhere. I know it's going to be a pain because I'm going to make you wait for a while to get through to the shout outs, but I got a nice shout out for you, Warren, so don't go anywhere. Handsome Mike is always early. Nope, a wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives exactly when he means to, and Handsome Mike is a wizard. Aloha to Warren. I'm just going to jump down a little bit to see who else is here. Simply Debbie Sue. Boy, I think I've seen you 5 times today, Debbie Sue. We got to stop meeting like this. Well, no, it just feels that way because I watched your video about the hack, which is not cool. And then I saw you at a live stream. Hey, it's Ben in real life, which is funny because I'm really not talking to you in real life. You know, it's kind of ironic that you say you are Ben and I in real life, and then you're Ben online. I want to meet you in real life. I want to go, hey, Ben, what do you say you and me next summer 2027, we go to a Cubbies game? That'd be cool. Go to a day game. I go watch the Cubbies. That would be awesome. How about that? This is only your second time to come to the live stream. Very good. It's becoming a habit. Don't you worry. There's only one Debbie Sue. That's a fact, Jack. Hi, Ben. Nice to meet you. Finally got caught up on your live stream. Yes, dude, you killed it on that live stream, Ben. Awesome job. You seem so natural, and it makes perfect sense. For someone who's a teacher, it makes perfect sense. I see my phone's blowing up, but there is a conversation going on in the background between some of my motorcycle buddies. One of them is on a riding trip from Virginia up to Vermont. He's just making us all jealous with his pictures. So thanks a lot, Wes. Not nice. Let's see here. Let's skip through. I see you guys are all talking kind words to each other. Thank you very much, Tracy. I'm doing much better, 100%. I think I'm 99.9%. So I'd say that because I'm sure I'm going to cough at some point tonight. I still have like the once in a blue moon cough. Happy you enjoyed my Steam. See, now the reason you type Steam instead of stream, because I know you meant stream, is because you are probably a video gamer who plays on Steam, and I bet you're used to typing that. That's my theory. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That is a really nice chair. Yes, that's true, Peter. I can hardly blame her for jumping in there. So, 100%. Tracy, you are always welcome, of course. You know, compliments are free. Hi, Daniel. Your package is going out tomorrow. Well, your face is a package. A lot of people call me Jenny. I don't mind. Prefer Jen, though. Well, then I'll continue to call you Jen because I want to call you what you prefer. But I just love the name Jenny. I love Jen, too. I had a very good friend named Jen when I was about 19, 20. And I'm still friends with her to this day. Very good friends. So one of my favorite names. Tracy is awesome. She is the coolest. She's on her favorite blue chair. Still the weirdest weather anomaly here. Still raining. Shocker, raining in the tropics. Who would expect it? Hey, CL's in the house. Outstanding. Already. Yeah, very good to see you, ma'am. Again. And Tyler, very good to see you. Glad you could make it to one of the live streams again. You've been absent, but I see that your long-awaited video is about to drop. I think you said on Friday, as you told me. So I got a shout-out for you coming up soon, so we'll talk about that. I'm just trying to get caught up on the chat before we kick off everything here. Signed copies of her books. That's a great idea. Absolutely, for sure. Okay, awesome, Lori. By the way, I almost cried the other day after you said you was taking the summer off. Your live stream spoke to me. Everybody needs to take a break sometimes, man. Cubbies game would be awesome. Yeah, we'll go to a Cubbies game next summer sometime. My treat. My grandparents live in Ocala, so maybe we could visit you. Yeah, Ocala is a long drive. That's about 4.5 hours. But that is where the Rev Secutioner lives. He's in Ocala, so that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I had a feeling you were a gamer. You got that down there. I know you guys are trying to type so fast so that I can't ever catch up, but I'm going to catch up. I'm on the verge of catching up here. I went to the dentist and I'm on some happy pills. Good for you. Excellent. You'll enjoy the live stream even better. Hello, Cookie Monster. How are you doing? So good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And Pam is here. Fantastic. Cool Pam is here. All right, very good. We're all caught up on the chat. So why don't we go ahead and kick off this party the right way with some cool music. And let's get started. Welcome to the Winning the Week live stream and podcast. We're promoting optimism and we are reframing our troubles into wins. We're finding hope, healing, and mental well-being in the daily adventure that we call life. You are always welcome here. I hope this music's not too loud. Somebody drop a comment in the chat and tell me if the music is too loud compared to my voice, because I've only got visual meters to look at. But remember, you're always welcome here at the Cool Kids table. I saved you a seat, and you, and you, and you. Remember to mention the Cool Kids Table in your own presentations, your live streams, your videos. This is not just my thing. This is a community. It's a movement. The Cool Kids Table, mention it and talk about it. And you don't have to mention me. You don't have to point anybody to me. Just let me know. Not let me know, but tell everybody else about it, because let's just start using it. The Cool Kids Table, it's a movement. Music is fine. Good. Okay, great. Not too loud. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. So I know why you're here. I know why you're here. You're here for the simultaneous sip. All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, a chalice or a stein, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip, and it starts now. I know this is going to be a big shock. Jen probably could tell you what I've got. I've got Publix unsugared sweet brewed tea. So let's start the simultaneous sip. That's the good stuff. Well, welcome to the party, everybody. That dude looks like me, he says. All right, let's just get caught up on here. Let's see. Is this where the cool kids meet? Hello, Otis. I'm so glad you made it. Very good to see you. What's cute? Oh, it reminds you of Forrest. Jenny reminds you of the Forrest Gump movie. Sometimes my husband says, we're like peas and carrots. That is cute. That is very cute. Cool. The music is fine. The music's not too loud. Pam says it's quiet. That's cool. We'll talk about the new theme music in just a minute. We got some new theme song music, and I'll play it for you again in a little while. That could be you on the cup. So that on the cup there is Mike's Adventure Sparks. I don't think I have any. Oh, I know who you're talking about. That guy. That is my friend Building with Papa, another YouTuber. He's got a holographic sticker here, so it's all rainbowy and trippy. So that's making Warren's like all tripping out because of that, because he's on the happy pills. But it could be you, Mike. You're right, Otis. Building with Papa, a local friend of mine. He's a contractor, a retired general contractor, whose YouTube is becoming a school teaching people the trades. Very nice guy. Building with Papa. Have to do him a shout out sometime, although he never shows up at our live streams, but that's okay. Your favorite part of the live is oh, hey, Granny, good to see you in here. How are you doing? This is 2 live streams in a row. So your favorite part of the, every time I try to click on the live, every time I try to click on the message, it moves. So your favorite part of the live is the simultaneous sip. That's good. That's very good. So about that music, that's some real life music by yours truly and some of my fellow humans. Let me play it again for you so you can hear it for a second. Let's just give it a listen. Well, there you go. We'll use that some more, and I'm going to start using that music in my videos as some outro music and stuff like that. It's nice to have a new theme song once in a while, although my favorite YouTuber of all time, Vice Grip Garage, if I go watch one of his 7 or 8-year-old videos, he's still using the same intro music that he uses on something he put out last Friday. So maybe I'm wrong, but this is real music made by humans, made by yours truly. So here's what we're going to be talking about tonight. You guys have already enjoyed the pre-show. Don't forget to come early, about 5 minutes early. We start chilling out and hanging out. And I am going to talk about my new feature, How Are You Winning Your Week? And shout out to Allie and Peter who have already participated. And I want to share with you my new title format that I've adopted. And I'll talk a little bit about this week's video, which came out on Monday. As you know, my new format is taking you along with me my entire week to show you how I am winning the week. And basically, I just drop in and do some short chats every single day of the week and talk to you and hang out, and then push that video out to you on Monday, the following Monday. But I've got a new title format. I want to share with you the logic of how that works, and I'll just tell you what I'm thinking about and see how it's going. And don't forget, we've got the commenter and encourager of the week. Who will it be this week? Who's going to be? Leave your guesses in the chat. And we've got our producer shout-outs. You guys will all remember that I no longer call you members or supporters or fans or anything like that. You are my producers. Every single one of you who shows up in the chat, every single one of you who leaves a comment on a video, anybody who joins the Discord, you're all my producers. You produce this entire live stream and channel, because without you, it wouldn't happen. So we're not content consumers, we're producers. So just a quick reminder, the Discord server is open and we are having a blast in there. It's my Discord server that I was using previously for other uses, but I've repurposed it for the Winning the Week Discord, and boy, are we having a good time in there. If you don't know, Discord's basically just a big chat. It's a big chat room. You can see on the left side there, we've got some different channels, but I want to see every single one of you in there. The sections along the left side, you can see I've got some little, they're called channels, but they're basically threads of conversation. The Cool Kids table, the YouTube videos channel. I've got a section in there for those of you who do YouTube where we can talk about how to do YouTube. And I've got a section for food and pictures and memes where we can talk about events that are coming out. And I've got a place for you to place your shout out request, because I want to shout out my producers. And so there's a channel in there specifically for you to place what your shout out is, so I know what to read. And those of you who haven't put anything there, I just kind of make something up generically for all of you. So that's what that is so far. And my favorite feature is the YouTube videos channel, in which I have a bot. I have a bot that basically pays attention to all of our channels, all of you guys who have YouTube channels, and it just posts in there whenever you make a new video. And you know, I don't really believe YouTube is doing a very good job of giving us notifications, because when I get these notifications in Discord, it's like within 10 seconds of a video coming out. And I go look at my YouTube notifications and it's only giving me like 5 notifications or something. So why is YouTube so bad at this? Should be, you had one job, YouTube. This should be something you're really good at. I don't understand, but it's very easy to join. There is a link in my videos description. There's a link in this live stream's description. You just click the link, takes you to a place where you can type in right here what you want your name to be. You can be anybody you want. Don't type your name as Ali G if you're not Ali G. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Discord wants to make sure you're a grown-up and not some kid. And then click create account. You'll drop right in there, and all you got to do is wait for me to add permissions, because I am monitoring who joins just to keep the trolls out. But we haven't had any trolls yet. Knock on wood. But that's how it works. So that'll be cool. All right, I see the chat just scrolling by like a madman. So let me just pop in here and see. I knew it would be Ali G putting the Guinness emoji in there. So let's see here. Let's see what I have missed. Pam's doing the juice cup. I love the juice cup. Welcome to the Cool Kids table. Bring me a juice cup. I would like a Capri Sun. Remember? Do you guys remember Capri Sun? If you're Gen X, you remember Capri Sun. Capri Sun? You guys probably called it Capri Sun. When I lived in Italy, the Isle of Capri was right off the coast of where I lived in Naples. So we called it Capri. And if you got a Capri Sun in Italy, it was called a Capri-Sonne, S-O-N-N-E. I think that's how they say sun. So we called them Capri-Sonne. And when I moved back, everybody was drinking Capri Sun, but they told me it was Capri Sun. So whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I'll have a juice cup. Save me one. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Allie's got her Guinness emojis, which don't show up in Ecamm. Silly Ecamm. You know, one thing I wanted to do, I don't know if I did this, but I want to move this over, because some of you guys watching this on a TV, you need this little space off to the right clear, because that's where the chat shows up. So I don't want to overlay that. ACR Protect, it's so good to see you, man. I was watching some of your videos recently. I was kind of binging them. Haven't really left any comments in there, but I am continuing to watch your videos. Any of you guys like Second Amendment type stuff and preparedness and getting ready for the end of the world as we know it, stuff like that? Check out ACR Protect. He's a good man. And look who's back. It's our friendly over-the-road trucker, blonde traveling gypsy, back in the house. Hello to all the cool kids. Very good. Awesome to see a blonde traveling gypsy. What would go well in Waikiki? I must have missed that. Why have I just realized Scott has an amazing collection of caps? Oh, yes, I do. Yes, and I'm not even wearing a single one tonight, am I? I should pull one of my caps off the wall and throw it on for the live stream, but I'm not gonna. I collect too many different things. I have too many different interests. You want a live concert for the music? Sure, why not? I'll just grab the ukulele off there and sing you a song. You thought I was gonna say my favorite YouTuber was PewDiePie? Absolutely not. My favorite YouTuber who I know in person is every single one of you guys, but my favorite YouTuber that I don't know is Vice Grip Garage. I know that Mike Adventure Sparks likes him too. Your producer is a face. There you go. 99% attitude and 1% ability. I think you overestimate yourself, ma'am. The Discord is awesome. I agree. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. And you're having a good time in there, and I'm having a good time with you. You've thought about checking it out, but you're feeling so stretched right now. Well, here's one thing I will warn you, that if you leave notifications turned on, it will go crazy. It'll be blowing up your phone or your computer, whichever way you use. So I would suggest the first thing you do is when you get in there, turn off notifications, because it's a pretty busy chat, but we are having such a great time in there, Pam. Hello, Miss Suzuki. Oh, how is my baby? Are you being good? I don't like it when you roll around underneath the chair because I'm afraid I'm going to roll over you. I don't like that. So why don't you tell Miss Pam hello? Pam says cats inside the house are awesome. All right, go get comfy. Go. Don't show the world your buttocks, though. Nobody wants to see that. So yeah, Pam, you know what I would say, Pam? I would say give it a try. And if it's too much, that's okay. There's a few people who dropped in and then left the server because it was too much. There's too much notifications, too much conversation. You're especially pulled thin when you have to upload your video twice because you get a copyright violation for no good reason at all, and you had to upload twice. That was a bunch of nonsense. What a bunch of hooey that was. Yeah, my suggestion, I told you this in the comments already, but if you guys get a copyright strike or notification, there's a place where you can appeal it. Click the thing to appeal it and put a comment in there that says there is no such music, and then a live human will check it out and say, oh, that was our mistake. It should never have been scrapped. So what a bummer that happened to you. Tracy joined the Discord? Really? Are you serial? Hold on a second. Let me see. I'm going to go check that out right now. Now, when I try to live stream in Discord, it gets a little glitchy, but let me see here. Let's go winning the week, server settings, members, roles. We have cool kids here. I'm going to view members, manage members, add a member. You have to go through 35,000 things. Cobus Cattails is now a cool kid. There we go. So that's how easy it is for me to set up permissions. So awesome. Cobus is here. Very cool. So I'm going to jump into the cool kids table. Now you guys see how easy it is. I hope that YouTube's not glitching me too bad. Welcome, Tracy. And I'll hit the @ sign and type Cobus so it tags her. So that's how easy it is. Very cool. And everybody's already given some stickers in there. So I'm so glad to see Tracy. Now like you said, now we know it is a pet-friendly Discord. Awesome. Thank you for joining, Tracy. You're going to have more fun than should be allowed. Pam, join so we can get better notifications. You don't have to be on there every day. That's the thing. Turn off notifications. There's even a way to mute the server. I want to show you guys something real quick. Let me bring that back. This is maybe the most important feature in the entire... Where is it? Where's my button to show Discord? Here we go. Me in Discord. There we go. There we go. So on the left side, your servers that you are part of will show up on the left. Like left right here, you can see the winning the week. And over on the left, here's one for the Florida Tolkien Society. Here's one for Signum University. And mute the server. And then you can choose like until I turn it back on. And that way you don't get notifications. It doesn't pop up on your screen and it doesn't bother you. So like already I've got a notification because already somebody has said something and these are the unread messages I haven't got to because of the fact that I'm live streaming. And come on, get back on the right screen, you silly thing. Let's see, there we go. All right, there we go. See, if I go sharing Discord, sometimes Ecamm gets into like frozen mode or something like that. I don't know what it's doing. So anyway, thank you for joining, Tracy. I think you're going to have a good time in there. After the live stream is over, poke around at all the channels and just see all the fun we've been having. Let's see. You're listening and driving over the road. Very good, Blonde Traveling Ships. And I apologize. You told me what your real name is. And something tells me that it's Tracy, but that's probably not right because we have another Tracy, which is Cobus Cattails. So if you want to tell me again, Blonde Traveling Gypsy, what your real name is, I promise I will remember this time. I apologize if I'm not right. The like button needs some aloha. That's funny. Very good. Who watches YouTube on the TV? Everybody. The majority of my viewers are watching on TV, and it's the majority of how I watch YouTube as well. I watch more YouTube on my TV in the office there, where my wife and I, Mrs. Winning the Week, we have a like a recliner sofa in her office facing a big old TV. So that's pretty much all I watch on TV is YouTube. So I'm sure you're being sarcastic, right? Oh, the silver star. Look, Mommy, it's a silver star up in the air. I think it's the first drink the man from Del Monte said yes to. Yeah, we all do, Tyler. Everybody does. Hey, Glenn, good to see you, my bud. You updated your avatar picture, I think. The sunset was always there, but now we've got the reticle and your name and the beach scene. Very cool. Okay, I knew this was going to happen at some point. I knew a cough was going to get caught up with, but this is not bad. 20 minutes into the live stream plus another 5 before that. So finally I'm going to cough here. Let me cough. I knew it would happen eventually, but that's okay. I'm feeling much better. It's a smart TV, so I can comment from my phone at the same time. You know, I don't need a smart TV because I got a smart wife. I'm just kidding. Of course, it's a smart TV. Otherwise, how could I watch YouTube? The music, Scotty. Yes, we will get to it. We will get to it. Car ready for heat of summer. Oh, look who's here. It's our good old friend, the, oh my gosh, what was it? Medic, the teacher medic, homeschool medic. Is your car ready for the heat of summer? How many miles are on the fuel filter? Does your spare tire have air? And check your flashlights. The great preparedness advice that we get from you is always appreciated. Thank you very much. It's very good to see you. I haven't seen you in quite a few live streams, but it's great to have you back. You thought your kids were the only ones? That's funny. No, you're the only one not doing it. That's the reality, Tyler. You're the only one not doing it. Yes, if you guys don't know, Perlman 1 is Dana's hubby, and Dana is Perlman 1's wifey. Please play the ukulele. Not sure if I spelled that right. I think is ukulele, but I knew what you meant. I'll have to do that sometime. I will do that as a treat, for sure. Pace of change accelerating and difficulty level increased, yet you can still obtain your goals before December 31st. Very well said. Very good. Pretty kitty. Laugh some every day. Very good. Suzuki is adorable. I need to share pictures of my cat in the Discord. Yes, you do. Absolutely. And drop a comment in here and tell me what your cat's name is. We all want to know. Do you think you'll make it up with Ali, Perlman, Dana, and I in August? I'm going to try. I haven't seen a date. If you guys have talked about a date, I haven't seen that. Maybe one of you guys can drop that in my Discord and let me know. One of you go, Ali maybe knows what it is. Let me know. Hello, pretty Suzuki. They're all talking about you, saying you're a pretty girl. You're a very pretty kitty. Great question. Great question. Are you cereal? Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that since college. Of course, we have all the Gen X phrases here. I am not only Gen X, I am proudly Gen X, the greatest generation of all time. You know, the hidden generation. Everybody always skips over Gen X and goes straight from boomers to millennials because they forget about the ones who grew up with a house key in their pocket on the way home from school. That's why I like Jen's channel so much. Live with Gen X Values. What a great name. Hey, Jay, good to see you, my man. Jay's been hanging out a lot in Discord lately, being a good friend in there and dropping his wisdom. You guys would be shocked at how much good wisdom Jay here, the resident Revsecutioner, drops in Discord. You need to start saying some of that stuff in your videos and your live streams, bud. I know I told you that in Discord already, but I'm saying it again as encouragement to you. So, let's see here. Hey, we were talking about you, Rev. Yes, we were. Everybody's saying hello to Jay, the Rev. And if you go in the Discord and say hi to him, his name's Moby Dick in there, which is the name of his camper that he's been working on in his channel. So if you see Moby Dick in the Discord, that is Jay, the Revsecutioner. And you will also see me talk about him tonight during shout out time. Let's see here. Oh, you guys are talking about what time it is and everything. I guess it's gotten dark outside. I can still see a faint glow on the horizon, just slightly. But it is definitely getting dark here in South Florida. And those of you in more northern latitudes, it's been dark for a while. You'll figure it out. You're a smart one. Stephanie, got it. Okay, everybody help me remember. Our over-the-road trucker is Stephanie. Stephanie, got it. Stephanie. I'm thinking of another Stephanie I know, and I'm picturing her trucking, which is actually a very funny mental image, so maybe that will stick with me. Stephanie trucking. Very good, I got it. Okay, we will remember that. You watch most of your YouTube on TV too? Yeah. Hey, you know what I love to watch on YouTube, Ben? Have you ever watched the Savannah Bananas baseball team? The insane, crazy baseball league where the pitcher pitches on stilts and the outfielder wears a fireman's hat. That has got to be the funniest version of baseball you ever got. So, yes, I get you. You got me. Suzuki's cleaning herself to get your approval, Pam. That will not do the trick. Trust me, that's not enough. She let us know her feelings quite clearly. They're disgusting. Yes, ma'am. Why are you reaching me? Yes, come on. Okay, come on over. Did you guys see during Rob the Maritimer's live stream, his cat was walking back and forth, and all you could see was a tail walking back and forth? It was quite funny. Yes, you can lay down here if you want. A lap is as good as anything else. Me too, CL. What did she say? Oh, you need your K&N. Is that? I'm assuming you have a K&N air filter. I had one of those when I had a Jeep, and it seemed like every time I cleaned it out, it stayed wet for a really long time. It would they let it dry overnight or something, but it seemed like it was always still damp, and I'd oil it like I'm supposed to, and then you start the engine up and it belches out red smoke. I don't know. I guess it's fine, but I like them. Let's see here. You'll get me the details? Okay, yeah, get me the deets. Get me the deets. Hello, Pop. How you doing, sir? So glad you could make it. You know, the party really was about to start without you, so I'm glad you showed up when you did, so you didn't miss anything. Suzuki, stop whacking me with your tail, or you're going to have to go back to your chair. Tried doing the mental health help stuff, but it really didn't take off. Yeah, I know. You know, I do the mental wellness stuff on my channel, and my channel's kind of stalled out too, but I still do believe that a channel that helps people is better than just a channel that entertains. And you can do both, you know, but maybe that's just me. All right, everybody's saying hi to the Pops, so I'm going to skip past those. Pops, I won off an old man copper, but my phone overheated right when I needed to claim the prize. Oh, you won. That's cool. Good for you. That's awesome. Old man Copper's a cool dude. Peanut is the best. Absolutely. And I am caught up on the chat here. So I never win. And of course, when I finally do, my phone acts up and figure it out. But it's all good. Somebody else got the prize. Well, that's okay, Mike. Hey, I put you over there. That's your spot. I don't want you rolling around under the chair, okay? All right. Well, hey, let's talk for a second about the new feature that I'm doing. I have asked you, and this is a hat tip to Lori. It was her idea, another fine mess she got me into. But I'm asking you to send me a short video using your phone or your camera, or your best camera, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. But I want you to tell me what you are doing to win the week. And my contact is kind of annoying me, so please excuse me as I touch my eyeball. Sometimes it just needs a little fixing. So you send me a clip of yourself telling me what you're doing to win your week, and I will feature your clip in a future video series. So let's all encourage each other with our testimonies. And I have good news. 2 of you have already taken me up on this. Ali G and Peter have both sent me little clip videos. Ali sent it to me in my phone. She texted it to me because we have each other's numbers. And Peter emailed it to me, but my email address is in the channel description, and you will find it there, winningtheweek777 at Gmail. And you can just take a little clip, pull out your phone, and hit camera, go to the video, click record, just say, here's how I'm winning my week. And I've already placed those videos into this week's video that I'm making for my entire week. So next Monday, you will see Peter and Ali share with us how they're winning the week. It's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of these. I think it's a cool idea. Lori had a good tip on this one. So I also want to share with you my new video title format. So I wish I should have written this lady's name down. There's a young woman making videos on how to do YouTube, and she's getting pretty popular. And, I don't follow every YouTube guru out there in the world. I kind of run 2 benchmarks. If I'm looking at a YouTube coach or a YouTube guru or a how to do YouTube channel, 2 benchmarks I go to. One is, do they have any success that they can point to? I'm not going to listen to somebody telling me how to do YouTube if the only channel they've ever done has 5 subscribers, right? And maybe 4 videos. I think a lot of people emulate their heroes, and they see people like Rob the Maritimer and mine just went blank on the really big Peter, I can't remember his name. There's several of them out there, but I think people want to emulate their heroes, so they start a YouTube channel, and the thing they think they want to do is, well, they'll make a YouTube channel about how to do YouTube, and they're basically just repeating advice because they don't have any of their own success to point to where I can say it works. So that's one criteria, but the other one, and maybe the bigger one, is a gut check. I listen to the advice they say, and then I kind of run it through my own mental filter and say, does that make sense to me on a basic common sense level? I think I've got a fair amount of I got enough common sense to have gotten me through the world here all these many years without, getting myself killed. So, but this young lady offering some YouTube advice seems to be common sense advice. And she had a video. Maybe I'll try and find it and drop it into the live stream description later on so we can go back and refer to that. But I want to give her credit for this, but this was her idea. She had this idea that you want to basically define who the video is for in the title and what they can expect to see. So my video title format is, are you blank ? And I'm filling that in with words like stuck, hurting, depressed, downtrodden, struggling, whatever it is. And I'm putting that in the video title. Are you this? And if that's you, well, here's how to whatever. Are you stuck? Here's how to get things moving. Are you bummed out? Well, here's how to cheer up. Are you struggling with, I don't know, being late? Here's how to be on time, whatever it is. So I'm trying to follow this format. I think it makes sense to me at a common sense level, right? So I'm in the title identifying who the audience of the video is, and I'm telling them what to expect. Now, this young lady's point was that this is like a gigantic, glowing billboard sign to YouTube itself. Because when we have small channels like I do and some of you do, YouTube sometimes needs a little bit of a boost. I know that it reads every word we say, and I know it's AI interprets everything we say and decides who's it for. But I'll tell you what, if you got a YouTube channel, go to one of your videos sometime and go to the Ask YouTube AI, whatever it's called, AI that's built into the top of the screen, Ask YouTube or whatever it is, and ask it a question like, who is this video for? And it will tell you who it thinks the video is for. It's not always correct. So this is the format I'm using. Are you this? Well, here's how to blah, blah, blah. And as you can see in the video that I put out on Monday, I said, are you anxious and stuck? Here's how to stop negative, intrusive thoughts from defining you. Now, negative, intrusive thoughts was only one of the things I talked about in this week's video, which was recorded during the span of all last week. There's a little section in there where I talk about stopping negative, intrusive thoughts. They don't define you, and the thoughts that you have is not who you are. What you do, what you say, and how you treat other people is who you are. So we all have negative, intrusive thoughts, but we don't all act on them. And just because you have negative thoughts that enter your mind, I said this in the video, you know, if you're a religious person, you might believe that that's just the enemy speaking these ideas into your head. And if you're not a religious person, you can just believe, well, I have these negative thoughts that drop into my head, but I don't act on them. So I'm not defined by my negative thoughts. And I'm following this title format. Are you anxious and stuck? Here's how to stop negative, intrusive thoughts from defining you. And I got to tell you, the video's doing pretty good. This is only the second video where I'm taking you along for my entire week and showing you throughout the week how I'm winning. And I want to let you know, by the way, for this video that I'm doing this week, where I'm recording myself as I do things and go do tasks and errands and gardening and all that stuff, I'm talking to the camera throughout my week. I'm actually focusing more on one topic throughout the week. I've got a topic, a single topic that I'm talking about pretty much in every scene of the video. I'm not going to tell you what the topic is. Even you, my beloved producers, I'm not going to tell you. You have to wait till next Monday to find out what that topic is. But the video's doing pretty good. And by the way, if you didn't watch this video, you have to, because as you can see in the picture, in that picture that's right here over my shoulder is a beautiful painting, watercolor painting from CL. And in that video, you can see me unbox that painting, that beautiful watercolor. It's called Little Green Dragon, and I absolutely love him. I moved him up a little bit from where I had originally put him in the video. In the video, I actually put him in this shelf down below, but I got him right where I can see him as I'm working during my workday. I spend most of my workday, my day job, at this desk over here, and sort of looking that way. And so, Little Green Dragon's right there off to my side, and this is my personal work desk, I guess you would say. Oh my gosh, why didn't any of you guys tell me? I forgot to turn on this light. My beautiful, make me look pretty off to the side light. You want to see the difference again? Here, let me show you. Off. On. Now I'm handsome again. None of you told me I was looking really ugly because my shiny light wasn't on. So the video's doing pretty good. As of this morning when I took a screenshot, 66 views, which, the gray field right there is typical performance. But as you can see, it's at the top end of typical performance. I would say this video is doing Pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy to get 66 views as of Wednesday morning. The video was only 48 hours old at that point. That's where a lot of my videos peter out at 40 or 50 views. So if I'm getting 60, I'm grateful for that. I'm wondering if YouTube's maybe showing it to more people because it's a bit longer, since I'm taking you on a journey through my entire week. Maybe YouTube's, I don't know, maybe YouTube's showing it to more people. We can see that through the impressions. It's got 1,000 impressions, which ain't too shabby for my channel. The click-through rate, which is how many people click it based on how many people see it. The impressions is how many people see it. And the click-through rate is how many people click it and watch it. And right now, you can see in the screenshot, it's 3.8%, which is pretty average, pretty normal for me. But it actually started, in the first 24 hours, it started out quite high. It was 7 to 8% click-through rate when it was in its first 300 or 400 impressions. And, you know, a click-through rate of 7 or 8% is pretty darn awesome. I don't know if that's a function of this beautiful thumbnail or the title or the curiosity of what's going on with such a long video, but I'm pretty happy with the performance of this video. And you can see here that YouTube tells us the different sources. A huge chunk of viewers are just finding the video as they browse through YouTube and see it. Only 15% of the view came through notifications, and another 10% through his other YouTube features, which is probably things like if I make a community post talking about it, maybe one of you guys link to it somewhere in YouTube in some of your videos or something like that. You see the 5% external right down here. That's probably people in Discord seeing the notification that came up in the bot, in the Discord bot, and clicking that. So, by the way, Pops, if you're still watching, you joined after we talked about Discord, and I think you're a prime candidate to join us in Discord. So do me a favor, if you get a chance later on tomorrow or later on the week, come back to this live stream, watch the replay, and just skip ahead to the section where I talk about Discord. And any of you other folks who joined late, I want you to pay attention to what I said about Discord, especially you, Pops. I think you would, I think you'd be on board with it. So pretty interesting information. And look at the comments. The comments exploded. There's 40 views. Now, this screenshot was sometime on Tuesday. 40 views and 50 comments. But that's CL's fault. CL commented and said, she was replying to, I think, Peter or somebody. She said, I saw you reply to me on your short. It gave me the idea to come spam every comment on Scott's awesome video. I'm simply blown away by all the loves today. I can't wait for more quotes with kitties or maybe the doggy. Oh, she was replying to Tracy. Okay. So CL made it her mission to reply to every single comment that someone else left. So now my comment replies are in this comment 50, but CL was basically doubling the number of comments that other people was leaving by replying to every single person with an uplifting, encouraging, positive comment. And that's something I've asked you guys to do in the past, is reply to each other with an encouraging comment like she does here. Can't wait for more quotes with kitties, or maybe the doggy. Rocco, was that his name? Rocco? Rocky? So CL, thank you for driving up the comments. That was really funny. I got a kick out of it. And you had my I have to click the little heart icon. You know, I have to click a heart icon and like everybody's comments. And you had me in overdrive on the you had me in overdrive on that. So thank you for doing that. That was really funny. All right, let me just see what we're talking about in the chat. I know I've been missing it. Zuki, I'm afraid I'm going to roll over you with my chair, babe. She loves... If I pick her up, she'll jump down. If I put her up, she'll jump down. She's just rubbing on my legs down here, so I'll just let her continue. Cobus Tat Tails, CL Fantasy, thanks for joining us last night. Y'all are terrific. Well, that was a really great live stream, Pops. Everybody who was in there was having a good time. You could tell by the fun times and the fun comments. That's great. And Mike likes seeing me stick through all week long, which is good. I'm glad. The painting is amazing. She did an amazing job. You like the flow of this video? Thank you. I'm trying to compress them so they're not wasting your time. There's quite a lot that I cut out where it's just kind of jibber jabber rambling, and I'm trying to compress the video so that it's useful. It's useful for everybody. So suddenly getting very stormy here. I have to go rescue some things off the porch. Go rescue, go save them. Pam, I have something to say about you, so I'm going to wait for you to get back. I hope she makes it back because I do have something I'm going to say about Pam, but I'm going to skip through that and jump to the next thing for when she gets back. And when we see her in the chat again, we will jump back to that conversation. I may even interrupt whatever I'm talking about at the time. Intrusive thoughts almost wrecked me, and I'm still struggling with them from time to time, mostly due to trauma. Ben, those thoughts are not who you are. And I hope you're getting professional help with that, because that's one way to deal with that kind of stuff. But thank you for sharing that with us. Is very good. Flow state. You said that before too. I enjoyed the length of the video. Another one, very good. Okay, so I'm not making them too long. That's good to know. He's trying to climb the leaderboard. Well, it looks like Peter's number 3, the Jay is number 2, and right now number 1 is... Who's number 1? I don't see who's number 1. Who is number 1? Oh my gravy. Right now, it looks like Daniel's number 1. That can't be true. Daniel's not even talking anymore. That can't be true. You guys will have to tell me who's number 1 right now. Let's see. I like the length of the video too. Very good. I'm glad to know. Oh, you're at a Publix. Ooh, no, I don't need anything. Are you going to get yourself a pub sub? If you don't know, Tyler, the Publix chicken tender sub is the Florida State sandwich. So if you want to get one of those, it won't be a harm. It was such an easy video to watch. Wow, thank you very much. It was a sit back, relax, and chill while watching. Good. I'm glad. No, Allie, I've got several gallons of that in the fridge, actually. It was buy one, get one up until, I think their sales change on Wednesdays. So I stocked up. I'm good on that. You shared the video. Thank you. I was so pleased with how I boxed up Little Green Dragon. You did such an incredible job of protecting that. You told me that you had asked your hubby how to do that, and boy, worked perfectly. It was in perfect condition, as well as the certificate of authenticity that you included in there. So, yes, Pops, check out Discord. There's a little kind of like instructional primer at the beginning of the video here, so I want you to check that out. You'll have an ultimate sub with boar's head sub sauce. Hey, I got no argument with that. That is a outstanding choice right there. By the way, they have some 1935 sauce that you should try out, celebrating their, what are they at? 75th anniversary or something like that? 95th anniversary, I forget. Yeah, 95th anniversary. I think it's called 1935 sauce or 1936 sauce or something like that. That's really good sauce. You should try that out. Come here. She's doing the thing where she reaches up her hands like, pick me up, pick me up. That's her thing. She'll reach up and pick me up. But you can't put your tail in my face because then I can't think. Everybody's congratulating CL on her fantastic artwork. I liked your road rage section. Please make that a feature. Yes, I should include a little section of me driving and having a little section of road rage in which I have a serenity now moment. What? Where are you going to go? Make up your... cats, man. They never make up their mind. I'm afraid you're going to bite my wrist. Sometimes she sees my wrist working with the mouse and she thinks it's something to bite. I don't like it. You as well, Otis? Very good. Okay. I can imagine your road rage, Jen. Well, they don't have any bad traffic up in Canada. Everybody up there is so polite. Everybody's got such great manners in Canada. So there's no road rage anywhere in Canada. My road rage is very British. I'll let you interpret that. Yeah, don't forget, she moved over to Canada from... she said where? I forget where she said from. Somewhere. I can't remember now. You want some chili? Is that what you want from Publix? Or is that what you're having now? Power potion. What the heck are you guys talking about? Dana says, this chat is making me hungry. British road rage requires multiple bleep machines. Remember, that's funny. Remember the Cootie liquor commercial? No, I do not. I'm sorry, I do not. If you click on the crown, it'll show you the ranking. Somehow Daniel is at 820. Wow, I don't know. That's wild. What did Daniel do? Did he do a He didn't do a No. I was wondering if maybe he did one of those gifts or something. Oh, Perlman sent a power potion. That's what it is. That I apologize, Perlman. You sent a power potion, and I just see the word power potion, and I think Rev did that too. Rev said flow state. Now I remember. Flow state, power potion, all these things, they come across on my screen as just simple text. I don't get to see the actual gift icon because I'm looking at the comments in Ecamm. So thank you very much for those gifts, guys. That's very kind of you. In fact, it's value for value is what it is. It's a value for value by dropping in these stickers and crowns and comments and presents. Thank you so much for every single one of you with your value for value. We'll talk about value for value in a little bit here, and we'll get on that subject. But instead, for a moment, why don't... Yes, thank you, Mike. I did finally figure it out. It takes me a minute, but I did eventually figure it out. But let's talk for a second while we wait on Pam to get back. I skipped ahead a little bit, but let's talk about the encourager and the commenter of the week. And hopefully Pam drops back into the chat. If not, I'll just rewind the presentation here. Who will it be? Who is it gonna... Who will it be now? But first... Whoops. Ooh, that's scary. I accidentally clicked a button that said ban Revsecutioner? No, I don't want to ban Revsecutioner. What button did I click? I don't even want to know what button I clicked there. That's kind of scary that you can accidentally click a button. Yikes. That does that. Oh my goodness. See, so on my... This is funny. On my... yeah, you can't look at them, Stephanie. You missed the things, but... They got rid of the golden poo. So on my screen, it just says happy poop. But on the chat, we see a golden poop that Perlman dropped in, which is here. Very funny. It's back. All right, so let's talk about the encourager and commenter of the week. But first, a reminder that I would love to send you I would love to send you stickers. Let me stick you for free. I have a lovely collection of stickers and magnets that I would love to be winging their way to you. They're very handsome and lovely, and they are they're those ones that do really good in the dishwasher and stuff like that. In fact, as you see my little collection of all my Yeti stickers over here, a great number of those are those Kiss Cut stickers that I get from Sticker Mule. I like Sticker Mule. I think they do a decent job. If you get the right ones, you got to get the Kiss Cut stickers. Exactly. Stephanie knows the song. Who could it be now? Knocking on my door. So listen, there is a link in the video description in which you can fill out a form and tell me an address to be sending some stickers and magnets your way. They're free, and I would love to do that for you. And just a quick reminder... Ben says, I'm gaming and listening, so I'm not really chatting much. But yes, I see a therapist and take pills. Okay, very good for you. Excellent. You don't have to be in the chat. We know you're here. So don't forget, this is a value for value live stream and channel and podcast in which the value for value model is where I avoid sponsors. I get emails all the time of people wanting me to read ads on the channel, but I won't do it because I think they gag me, just like that beautiful picture of me that you see right there. Instead, value for value is a method in which you decide what value you might be getting from this channel, the live streams, the videos, the Discord, all that stuff. And you return value back to me in the form of your time, your talent, or your treasure. And that can take form in many ways. YouTube has memberships for 99 cents. I have members-only videos and members-only posts that I make for you guys. You can use the tip jar at tipjar.winningtheweek.org, which takes you to the Buy Me a Coffee website. That's actually a better option because they take and keep a much smaller percentage of your offering to me than YouTube does. YouTube keeps a big chunk of it. I've also got affiliate links on Amazon. If you follow one of my affiliate links, then I get a commission on whatever you buy, be it the thing I have a link to or something else. It's usually about 5%, and it does not raise your price. Your price never changes as a result of that. Another way you can return value to me in exchange for the value that you get for these live streams, videos, Discords, podcasts is you can contribute artwork, you could contribute thumbnails, you could contribute blog posts, you could offer commentary in the comment section. You could give me a boots on the ground report. That's where you give me a report from the field on a topic that I talk about that you happen to be an expert in. So if there's a topic that I bring up in my video and talk about, for example, a good example of that might be intrusive thoughts. Ben, you know a lot about intrusive thoughts. Well, you can leave a comment in the channel and you can be my report from the field. You're my boots on the ground telling me what you know as an expert on that subject matter. And that's a value that you can give back to the entire community. And not just to me, but everybody. So please consider, if there's a topic I talk about that you are a subject matter expert on, drop a comment and tell us what you know. Tell us what you can share. And don't forget, I do have a merch store, shop.winningtheweek.org. I got some really cool mugs and water bottles and t-shirts and all kinds of cool stuff over there. So check out what's there. That's another fun way you can support me. But the comment of the week comes from Cheddarboyee, which I would love if Cheddarboyee would drop it in the live stream. I've not seen him, but he's been making some really great comments. And I hope he becomes a bigger part of our community because he's really funny. He seems like a nice guy. His comment was, "The week is off to a good start. I like your laid-back style and life advice." I don't know if I give life advice per se, but I guess some of the things I say could be taken that way. Peter keeps saying I need to be a coach, but I don't really see that in my future. But Cheddarboyee has a really funny and optimistic and encouraging and and inspiring channel. The channel mission for Cheddarboyee reads, I just copied this and pasted straight from his channel. He says he wants to show people that God's way is fun and rewarding, to spread cheesy goodness by having fun and making people laugh, to make people feel loved and appreciated. He got that from Dolly Parton. To promote no hard feelings, and to remind us all that mistakes and misses are stepping stones. Encourage people to stop second-guessing themselves. So I will leave a link to Cheddarboyee in the channel notes later on so you can see it. I didn't put one in there already because I didn't want to give away the surprise of who our comment of the week is. But he's a cool dude. I don't know if he's a cheesehead as in a Wisconsinite or not, but I would think it might be a good guess. Maybe. That would be a good prediction. I don't know. And the encourager of the week is none other than Rob the Maritimer. He put out a video in which he says the best time to start YouTube was 10 years ago. And he talks about that mindset that people often have, and that saying that people say, oh, YouTube's changed, it's no good anymore. 10 years ago was when you should have been doing it. And I'm not going to give away all of his channel. I'm not going to give away all of the video, but it was extremely encouraging to me. But you can see in the screenshot, he says, start today. And he made a really good point, which I am going to do a little spoiler on. Because it's too good not to share, which is 10 years from now, people are going to be saying the best time to do YouTube was 10 years ago. And that's today. So thank you, Rob, for your encouragement. He's the most optimistic and uplifting and encouraging person I know, not named Scott Auld. Honestly. He might be the most optimistic and encouraging person in all of the Maritimes. Nay, all of the Eastern provinces. Nay, all of the world north of the 44th parallel. But I know that also includes some of you guys, and I don't want to exclude Jen because she's pretty darn optimistic and encouraging too. So I got quite a few favorite Canadians, but Rob's video was definitely the encourager of the week. So thank you, Rob, for that. Is Pam back? Anybody let me know? No, she's not back. So we're going to go ahead and proceed without her. But I will come back to what I wanted to say about her situation if she shows back up in the chat. And if I get down towards running out of things to talk about and she's not back, well, then we'll just have to talk about her without her, and she'll have to catch it on the replay. It's very possible that she got pulled out with the storm to go deal with other things, and she may not make it back to the live stream, which is totally fine. All right, so Mike and Perlman are talking about the golden poop icon. Very good. Is the secret banner back? I don't know what the secret banner is. You'll have to tell me what that means. Stephanie says, I need to see a therapist and take pills some days more than others. Pam, are you here? She says, we need you, Pam. You're getting shouted at by Allie. Peter says, my therapist now needs a therapist. My mission was successful. That's very funny. Allie says, calling all Pams. And Glenn says, I do that too, but I'm at work now. I'm usually playing Red Dead Redemption. Very good. Awesome. Spam Pam, says Jay. And Peter says, will the real Pam please stand up? Please stand up. Jen says, I always depress my therapist. Yeah, your therapist needs a therapist, right? And CL says, Dragon Treasure. Now, I'm curious, was that a emoji that CL said, or did she type those words in? Because I can never tell. She says, yeah, aged cheddar. Dragon Treasure. So, okay, so maybe you meant that I'm sorry if I'm behind on the chat and I don't know exactly what you're referring to. I'm assuming you mean that the picture, the watercolor artwork is Dragon Treasure. But, it's funny, if you follow Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings, Dragon Treasure is not something to be desired necessarily, and dragon sickness is not something that you want to catch. But I won't go down that rabbit hole. Geraldine could tell you more about that one, but I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of talking about J.R.R. Tolkien and dragon sickness and Dragon Treasure. But I will tell you what I was reading before I went live is The Lord of the Rings. I just finished book 3, which is the first half of the second volume, The Two Towers. And so by finishing that and starting book 4, which is the second half of The Two Towers, I'm on the Taming of Smeagol, and here I am going down the rabbit hole and getting sucked into it. So I'm not going to do that. Not gonna do it. Jen, have you seen Shrinking on Apple TV? I've heard several people comment on that. I might have to watch that. I've heard several people comment on it, so now I may have to go look for it if Lori's recommending it. I always end up giving my therapist advice. That's hilarious. 1 and 2, twice you liked it that much? Oh my gravy. Wow, I didn't. All right, I'm going to have to go check it out. Perlman, Red Dead Redemption 2? Me too. Way too much, probably. I do not play video games. Sorry, guys. The chicken tender sub is on sale too, Scott. Yes, that's all I needed to know. Thanks a lot. That's all I needed to hear. Season 3 came out a bit ago. Cool. Okay. I did play one video game in my 40s, which was City Skylines. I got a slight addiction to that, which is the city building, world building video. But last time I was really into video games in a big way was Battlefield. And that was back in the days of Battlefield 2. In fact, hanging on my wall back there, I have my original disc CD of Battlefield Bad Company 2, which might have been my favorite video game of all time. But that was probably in my, early 30s, something like that. I don't play video games anymore. Ain't nobody got time for that. I went to a therapist once, and she told me to just write everything down so someone could turn it into a movie. She didn't have time to listen. Time to get a new therapist. Wow. Another vote for Shrinking. That was the best outdoors Tennessean. I just talked about the state bird in my latest video, and that chicken tender sub comment was epic. I need that sticker. Wait, what are we talking about? What did I miss? Chicken tender sub, what did he say? I'm scrolling back to see what Tyler might have said about the state bird. Now, our state bird is the mockingbird, but the Florida State sandwich. The Florida State sandwich is the Publix chicken tender sub. Unofficially. I don't know if I'm going to find it, but that's okay. That's all right. Jen, you are okay, this is Peter talking. Jen, you are probably telling your therapist that they are useful as a chocolate barbecue. That's funny. Useless as a screen door on a submarine. Yeah, aged cheddar. Are you a big fan of cheddar cheese, CL? You might like the Cheddarboyee channel. Cheddar is obviously a sign that you're a person of culture. I don't have anything against people who like American cheese. I don't agree with people who say it's not real cheese, because it is cheese. I'm sorry. I had a friend who lived in France, and she argued with me incessantly. Geraldine knows who this is. Our friend Yael, incessantly insisting that American cheese is not cheese. It is cheese. It's cheese in the way that chicken nuggets are chicken. But a nice aged cheddar. I love a good brie. I'm a fan of the Mexican 4 cheese, shredded cheese from Publix. I know, I always talk about Publix. I beat it twice. He's talking about Red Dead Redemption here. I beat it twice and I still can't get more than 90%. I hope they make a third one that they keep talking about. They are good, Allie. Now, this is Tyler talking about the subs. I want one, but they were closing up. Yeah, and here's the pro tip. When you go to get the chicken tender sub at Publix, ask them if they have any fresh chicken tenders hiding back in the case. Because in the display case, there are the chicken tenders that were made up to an hour ago. They do take them out if once they reach an hour old. But you really want the fresh chicken tenders that were made, and sometimes they're holding them in the hot case behind the counter. So ask that. That's the pro tip. All right, where am I in the chat? Is Pam back yet? No. But that's okay. We'll have a conversation without her behind her back. I need to do a video on my gaming room, our husband and wife escape room for Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty. And Ben says, I agree, Peter, you would be a great life coach, Scott. Oh, boy. I don't know about that. Just because my life is rosy and awesome doesn't mean that the advice that I give is going to help other people turn out that way. And, you know, if I'm being honest, one of the things I think that makes me not really want to be a coach is I feel disappointed when people sort of take my advice, but in their own way, and do what they really wanted to do anyway in kind of a half, you know what I mean, attempt. And then they're upset that the advice I gave them didn't work out because they didn't really do what I suggested. You know, and I don't know. Maybe there's a way to get around that. Maybe I need to look and see what really happens. I don't know. Pops has got to run. Don't stay up too late. Remember to lock the doors, turn out the lights. You got it, Pops. Although these people keep talking about it, I might have to make a run over to Publix and get myself a Publix chicken tender sub. They close at 10. So I got about an hour. I could go get one. Debbie Sue knows Cheddarboyee. Awesome. Okay, great. Maybe that's where he found us all, is through, maybe he was already a follower of Debbie Sue's channel, and maybe he found us through some of our comments or something like that. He loses. CL says Rob loses 2 points for Peanut's summer haircut, bad haircut. But he gains 10 points for the very, very funny outtakes and bloopers at the end of that video. So if you watched that video but you bailed out when he was saying goodbye, you got to go back and watch, especially the sucking in the gut comment. You don't want to miss that one. So let's see here. It was a bad haircut. Yep. I see everybody telling Pops good night, so I'm going to skip through all of that. Tyler says, I truly want to say thank you all for the support you have given me and my son on our channel. Still crazy, it's been a whole year on YouTube. Congratulations on reaching a year. Very good. And thank you to Lori. Everybody's saying congratulations. Very good. Tyler says, Scott, that's the best game, but he doesn't tell me which one I'm talking about because I talked about several of them. So you got to be more specific. Remember that in the comments, guys. If you write your comment with a little bit of specificity, They don't know what we're talking about when I get to your comment 30 minutes later. No, you said it was the Florida State sandwich was what I meant. Okay, yeah. So that's what you were talking about when I read your comment wrong, or I misunderstood what you said. Yep. So stop jimmying yourself, Ben. These are comments that have references to video games I've never heard of. I'm waiting for the next Modern Warfare game. They're so good, says Peter. And then CL says, I watched Cheddarboyee. Aged Cheddar is his character. Okay, good. Cheddarboyee. Aged Cheddar is his character. Okay, gotcha. Very cool. I did not catch that, but you're right. Mike's Adventure Spark says, I need to come to Florida to see what's so big about Publix. Oh, well, I think you need to, 100%. The unofficial Florida State sandwich is a Cuban sandwich. Yeah, that's true. We have an extremely large Cuban population in South Florida, have ever since 1980. And if you don't know what happened in 1980, to give us that large Cuban population, well, then you don't know anything. Have to look it up yourself. I would say the Cuban sandwich could be the South Florida, the official sandwich of South Florida. If you don't know, by the way, we don't say Southern Florida down here. We don't say Southern Florida. We say Northern Florida. We say Northwestern Florida. We say the Panhandle. We say Central Florida. But we don't say Southern Florida. We say South Florida. And it's got its own Wikipedia page. You can look it up. South Florida is the Miami metropolitan area, the Broward County, Fort Lauderdale metropolitan area in which I live, and the Palm Beach, West Palm Beach metropolitan area all combined together makes South Florida. And essentially, South Florida should be called Southeast Florida because the Gulf Coast is not South Florida. Even the southern part of the Gulf Coast, and I'm talking about the Gulf of America, the Gulf Coast is not part of South Florida. It is the East Coast from Lake Okeechobee down, basically. Go to Lake Okeechobee, the big old eye in the middle of Florida, and go over to the Atlantic Ocean and follow it down to where the Florida Keys begins. That's South Florida. So I would say that the Cuban sandwich could be the official sandwich of South Florida. Have I had the ghost pepper cheese? No, I have not, but I like hot and spicy stuff, so I might have to try the ghost pepper cheese. The pro tip at Publix. Exactly, Allie. The Rev says, come on down, Mike. Just don't forget to go home. Yeah, we don't mind tourists coming to our town, spending their money, freeing us up, which is why we don't have a state income tax and why we're running a surplus. We are running a budget surplus for the past, I think it's 4 years in Florida, thanks to all the tourist dollars being spent at Disneyland and Disney World and everywhere else. I always say Disneyland, but I guess we got Disney World. And I think that that's what's able to fund the recent movement. It's going to be on the ballot in November. There's an option to eliminate property taxes on homeowners. Business owners will still pay property taxes. And if you own more than one home, like if you're a landlord, if you have rentals or Airbnbs, you would still pay property taxes on that. But they are looking at, I guess we get a chance to vote if we want to do it, eliminating property taxes on your primary residence here in Florida. CL says, I like the Publix tuna on Crescent. I may have to do that this weekend. I've never tried that. I'm actually not a huge tuna fan. I don't like tuna fish that much, but the Crescent roll is fantastic. Okay, so you're saying Battlefield Bad Company 2 was an awesome game. Yeah, I agree. I liked the multiplayer, but I really loved the single-player campaign. The story was so funny and humorous in that game. It was great. Hey, FQ, it is so good to see you. If you guys don't know Flight Quest 40, he's in our comment section quite frequently. Humid air here in Pennsylvania almost reminds me of Pensacola Gulf Breeze days. So if you don't know, Flight Quest 40 has an aviation-based channel, and I would encourage all of you to go check that out. Super cool dude. And all things aviation. I've always enjoyed those videos. I'm an aviation nut. One of my sons has a job working at the local executive airport here for Banyan Air Services, which is a local FOB for executive jets and stuff like that. I think he's got the coolest darn job in the world. He refuels these jets. He meets the pilots. He got to meet the Red Bull stunt pilot for the Red Bull stunt helicopter for the Air and Sea Show here last month. He's always out on the tarmac. He's always getting to drive the little vehicles up and down the runways. Well, not the runways, but the taxiways. On the radio, clearance to cross runway 27, all that cool stuff. He's got the coolest darn job. Meeting the pilots, meeting the rich and fancy people who come in on those. He's meeting, music stars, rap musicians, famous actors, people who fly in for the Formula One race, stuff like that, rich and famous. In fact, the CEO of Publix landed at his FOB and got refueled. I think he got to meet him. So pretty cool. So anyway, FQ, glad to see you here, FQ40. Cleared for takeoff, FQ40. Roger, November 2273 X-ray, you are cleared to cross taxiway Charlie. Line up and wait. And Warren says the last time he was in Publix was in 89. Well, I can tell you it's as good as ever. Still privately owned, still family run. Was it humid up there? We had a nice day down here today. I'm sorry it was humid for you. The Florida Keys is called South Florida. I don't think so. I don't think Florida Keys, we don't call the Keys. Remember, they consider themselves a whole different country. They call themselves the Conch Republic down there in the Keys. I know my son has moved to Key West and is the manager of the meat department at one of the two Publixes on Key West. They have two Publixes right next to each other because they needed so much Publix because they have so many tourists. It's one of their busiest and biggest stores in the entire state. So I don't think the Keys is South Florida. I think I'm South Florida. Bye, Lori. She's got to take the pup out. So Lori Soul Circle has to take the pup out. Stay well. Be sure you come back and watch the replay because I'm going to do the shout outs in a minute here. FQ just finished uploading a video, kicking back and relaxing. Very good. Everybody's saying goodnight to Lori. I'm almost caught up. Tyler says taxes are the devil. Rev says, not to rush, but I have to jump out for a PMR premiere. No problem. You can always catch up and watch the live stream. You got to do what you got to do. And thank you. Taking a bow. Great vibe. Very cool. Well, hey, now would be a good time to do my producer shout outs. I just want to remind you, I consider every single one of you not just supporters, not just viewers, not just members. You are producers. You're not just content consumers. You are producers. Every single member and every single person in our Discord, everybody who leaves a comment or attends a live stream, you get the producer title listed in the show notes, and you are it's a genuine credit that I will vouch for. In Hollywood, producers are generally responsible for the financing of a project. So I am calling every single one of you who show up in the chat a producer of this particular live stream. This is a real credit for your bio. It's valid anywhere that Hollywood-style credits are recognized. Whoops, didn't mean to hit that button. Meant to hit this button. Anywhere that Hollywood-style credits are recognized, and this is 100% an idea that I got from the No Agenda podcast. I think it's a great idea. I saw another YouTuber last night also calling his members producers. It was a YouTube video on the Roman Empire, I think. But your producer title also entitles you to a shout out or a plug for whatever you want. So if you're a producer or if you're in my Discord, I will do a shout out for your business, your personal business, your family business. If you have a YouTube channel, for your favorite charity, if that's what you want. If you've got some kind of project going on, tell your mom hi. You want to say hi to your sweetie pie or maybe tell your kid happy birthday. Anything like that, that is a valid shout out. And all you need to do is drop me a note, either an email using the email address, which is in the show notes and the channel notes, or go into Discord. I have a section specifically where you can write your own shout out. So this applies to anyone who has ever supported me in any kind of value for value manner. So I want you to write your own shout out note. I'm inviting all of my producers to shout out their own channel, their own business, whatever you want, their loved ones, anything like that. and I will read your shout out on the live stream every week. And you can keep them the same week to week. If you don't tell me anything, I'll just keep reading the same one, or you can change it week to week. Just let me know by Tuesday. And this is just another example of the value for value model. So let's get started with our producer shout outs. And the first one I want to say, the Traveling Whitcombs recently joined us in Discord, and it was so nice to see Brandon and Ashton in there. The generous Brandon and Ashton. I will remind you that Brandon and Ashton bought so many YouTube memberships for people. They were dropping $20 bills in here and adding so many. At one point, I had up to something like 60 or 70 YouTube members because Brandon and Ashton were being so generous. And if you don't know, the Traveling Whitcombs are going through a rough patch right now. Brandon got really seriously ill. Stomach-related crap going on, and had to spend quite a lot of time in the hospital. It impacted his job. He ended up losing his job. This also impacted where they live. The place where they live, they were basically told by their landlord, get the heck out. So they had to find a new place to move to. Now, good news, sounds like Brandon has found new employment that he starts next week, which is wonderful news. But I would ask you to consider going to their GoFundMe. You can find that at their YouTube channel in the show notes and in their channel notes. But I really enjoyed the heck out of their live stream the other day. They were live, I think it was on Monday. And they were just kind of sharing and being vulnerable about how painful it's been, this entire experience, and what it's been like. They have the cutest kid you've ever seen in the history of children. And they're just a really, really sweet couple. So that's my shout out to Brandon and Ash. I love them. I just think they're awesome. Next shout out is for Jenny on the block from Life with Gen X Values. Before I do this one here, why don't I do just a real quick cough break, because I think I need coming. I'll be right back. All right, so sorry about that. Just needed to do a quick little, actually wasn't a cough. I just needed to blow my nose a little bit. So hopefully I don't have a big giant booger hanging out. So Jen's live stream this past Monday was a great discussion. She talked about self-doubt. She talked about combating the feeling that our voice isn't worthy. Please take time to go back and listen to Jen's live stream from this past Monday. It is a must listen. And she invented a new hashtag, Team Soul Circle, because she was raving quite a bit in her live stream about how great Lori is, and Lori is such a great friend and mentor to so many people. So if you want to adopt that hashtag, Team Soul Circle, I wouldn't blame you. It'd be pretty cool. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. The next shout I have for you is for our good friend Ben here. Ben's probably listening to us in the background. Ben, time to pay attention. It's your shout out, buddy. Ben loves learning, and as a teacher, he's starting the Learn Something New Every Day movement. He had a great live stream on Sunday night. He's doing a new series, and it's a really fun channel. The classroom doors are open. Everybody, hashtag Learn Something New Every Day. Be sure you check out Ben's channel, subscribe to him. If that's something that you think you would be interested in, go back and watch his live stream. He's got this great attitude and vibe, such a positive personality. He must be so great with kids. Yeah, I don't know. Peter's saying, wasn't it Ali G who invented that? Well, that's very possible. If it was Ali G that invented the Team Soul Circle, then I did not know that. I don't get a chance to see every single person. So maybe she did start that one. I don't know. Mike's Adventure Sparks, one of my favorite and longest tenured producers. In addition to being a great friend and a really fun member of my Discord server, he makes exciting videos about camping, boating, fishing, commuting, the workday grind, and getting through the week in a friendly and optimistic way. And he sent me stickers. How about that? So thank you, Mike, and thanks for being a good friend. Tyler, the outdoor Tennessean, has got a video coming out here where he spends 5 weekends with him and his son. He says, I got a great video dropping this Sunday at I said Friday earlier. I'm sorry. That's when you used to go live, I think, or that's when I'm probably thinking about your live stream. So I've got a great video dropping this Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern when I took my son fishing every weekend for a month. We caught some small fish, some big fish, battled the wind, and I lost my phone in the water. However, we had a blast spending time together as father and son duo. I hope you guys check it out. So that's Tyler from the Outdoor Tennessean. So do 100% be sure you check out that channel and video. And Lori's shout out. Lori's been with me the longest. She's got a Substack called Soul Notes. And Lori's focusing on her Substack right now. You may have seen her most recent video where she's going to take summer off from YouTube and focus on her Substack. Now, if you don't know, Substack is like a blog, an email newsletter, and a membership platform all rolled into one. So imagine if Blogger and Patreon had a baby, and that baby also handled your email list automatically. That's what Substack is. So you can subscribe, you can become a member, you can read her blog posts and participate. She says, it's where I take the ideas from my videos and go deeper. It's the written, more personal version of what I share. Some things just land better on the page. So if folks connect with my stuff and want more, Soul Notes is the place to find it. So that is at substack.com/@LoriSoulCircle. So be sure to check out her Substack. Peter Urbanowski is making videos teaching people how to do YouTube, and he's focusing specifically on the editing process right now with a series he's going through. But Peter wanted to use his shout out to thank Lori, his mentor. And he recently made a video that just came out tonight thanking her for being such a great pal, person, help, friend. So be sure to check out the Thank You Lori video on the Peter Urbanowski YouTube channel. He's my friend over on the Mercy. I see Ben saying I have to dip out. No, probably watch it on the Rest On Video on Demand. Absolutely no problem. I know I've gone live quite a long time here. We're coming up on an hour and a half, so don't anybody feel bad if you need to jump out. That's totally acceptable and understandable. Our friend Jay, who recently had to just a minute ago drop out, that's fine. Jay, the resident Revsecutioner. Reverend Jay says, I'm a custom car and motorcycle builder who somehow always manages to turn simple projects into epic adventures. Right now, I'm bringing a neglected 2008 Buell Blast back from the dead, renovating my camper Moby Dick, and sharing the whole journey on YouTube. The victories, the mistakes, and all the chaos in between. My channel is about fixing, building, learning, and proving that you don't need a huge budget or fancy shop to chase your projects and dreams. If there's a harder way to do something, I'll probably find it, but we'll have a few laughs along the way. Thanks to everyone who stopped by, subscribed, or joined the conversation. I appreciate every one of you. So that is Rev, the resident Rev.Secutioner. And Warren, I know you have been waiting a long time for this. Here it is, your shout out. The Optimistic Absurdist YouTube channel. He says, this is Warren speaking, there are lessons hiding in ordinary things if we pay attention long enough. The world doesn't always make sense, and maybe it's not supposed to. This channel is a place to slow down, question gently, and make peace with the absurdity of being human. We explore life, meaning, discipline, curiosity, and calm. Not by pretending I have the answers, but by learning how to live well without them. Welcome, I'm Warren. Pleasure to meet you. I'm a retired soldier after 20 years and 4 deployments of uniformed service. I currently work as a freelance training analyst. I'm also a bit of a wannabe social scientist and philosopher, coupled with a master's in liberal studies and a love of arts and the humanities. Well, and I know you must love it when I go down a rabbit trail talking about Lord of the Rings. So everybody, please get a chance to check out The Optimistic Absurdist if any of that sounds like your jam. So thank you to all my beloved producers. Remember, I want you to write your own note and shout out about yourself. I know it's difficult to brag on yourself sometimes, but I want to do that for you. So I'm inviting my supporters to shout out their own channel, their business, their loved ones, their charity, anything or anyone. Remember, this is how value for value works, my friends. All right, let's just take a quick scroll back through here, through the chat, and see what I missed, if anything. Although some of you may just be chatting with yourselves, which is excellent. You're hanging out at the Cool Kids channel and being friendly with each other. They should change it to the Publix chicken tender sub, says Allie. And then Rev says, I don't know, Cubans are delicious. Are they made with real Cubans? CL says, I already saw that. I'm sorry. I'm reading back what I've already read here. So let me skip back down here. Lori had to jet. We know that. And FQ told us about his new video. Everybody said goodbye. Here's where we're caught up. Okay. Mike says the traveling Whitcombs are amazing, which we all knew. And CL says, yes, they are. They had a few trolls in their live stream the other day. Yeah. That's a feature of the vertical live stream, right? Those get tons and tons of views, but you get some trolls. And then speaking of their travails, the traveling Whitcomb's troubles, Ben says, wow, this sounds like my worst nightmare. I need to check them out. I'm so sorry. Definitely check them out. And then as I was doing the shout outs, Mike says, hey, that's me. And Allie says, I did say it once or twice lately, so I don't know who invented the Team Soul Circle hashtag, but let's just all keep using it. Go, Mike, go, says CL. And Peter says, Allie has invented more things than Elon Musk. Her face has invented more things than Elon Musk. And Ben says, thanks for the shout out, Mike. And then let's see here. Peter says, look, Mom, I'm on TV. And Ben says, I have to go dip out, unfortunately. Yes, I saw that. Sorry. And Tyler says, thank you. And Mike says, LOL, Peter. And CL is saying goodnight to Ben and being nice to Peter. And everybody's saying goodbye. And oh, look, Jay is back. Good. Jay, I hope you were back in time to see. Oh, I see. Okay, good. You say just in time. Jay says just in time for his own shout out. Excellent. I'm so glad. I was hoping you didn't miss that. And you are very welcome for the shout out, 100%. And Warren says, mahalo, Scott. Really appreciate the shout out. Excellent. Very cool. I'm pulling a Rob. In what way am I pulling a Rob? By being so far behind on the chat? Probably. Well, listen, Pam didn't make it back, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I wanted to say that was Pam related. Let me just go find that slide. And let's talk about it. Here we go. Hit this button. So I want to talk about Pam's conundrum. And hopefully she'll get a chance to see this on the replay. But her conundrum applies to a lot of us, especially those of us with YouTube. So I just want to say, during Rob the Maritimer's live stream, Pam left a comment. She said, I struggle with getting the point in my video. I think she meant I struggle with getting to the point in my videos. People click, but they leave after a few minutes. Any advice on how to step it up a notch? So that was Pam's Stories for Humans in yesterday's, that is yesterday, Tuesday's, Rob the Maritimer live stream. So here's my thoughts on that. Here's my suggestions, completely unsolicited, but hopefully not completely unwanted. I'm assuming that she's talking about a case of engagement dropping off near the beginning of a video. So one thing that helped me, and I did say this in the live stream as a comment, and Rob read this comment, but I want everybody here to hear it. One thing that helped me was to film my hook, which is your opening / greeting, maybe the first 10 or 15 seconds of your video, where you want to just basically convince people who clicked that they're in the right place, they're going to get what they thought they were going to get, and that the title was not misleading, and also to tell them what's coming. I would film that at the very end of filming my video, after I knew everything that what I had already said. And in my mind, I just took a minute to compose an intro that covered everything I had just said with a promise of what's to come. And I would film that at the end of the filming session. And then, oh man, I just screwed up this slide. And then in the editing process, you just take that and lift it and move it to the beginning of the video. So it looks like you're starting with your video with a hook, your opening greeting that covers what you're going to talk about, but you recorded it at the end of everything you talked about, so you knew what to say is coming up because you already talked about it. This is especially good for people who wing a lot of their content. They've got maybe a bullet point or a few things they want to talk about, but they don't know everything they're going to say in the video. So at the end of the video, you know everything you were going to talk about. Just record your intro then. And another idea then is to find an engaging or exciting moment in your video, somewhere in your video, and copy that and put it at the beginning of your video with the words coming up on screen. I do that sometimes. I did that on this week's video. So all of that said, I do want to take some storytelling classes. I think I could improve in that area. I was talking about this during Pop's live stream last night. People tend to either tune out when I'm talking in person in real life, or sometimes they just interrupt me. And when people interrupt me as I'm speaking, I think this is a sign of poor storytelling skills on my part. And I would like to improve in that area. And I know there are some storytelling classes that I could be taking. So that's something I'm going to be focusing on. However, I do want to also point out, if you're struggling with retention early on in the video and you think the early drop-off is abnormal, it's not. I think that every single person who has a YouTube channel could look at the retention graph. This is what it looks like for any video. And you would see a drop-off, a very steep drop-off in the first 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, because people click on a video by mistake and then they hit back. And sometimes people click on it and, hey, they don't like the sound of your voice, or that's not what they thought they were getting, whatever. I'm pretty darn happy with this week's average view duration. For a 43-minute video, the average view duration is 7 minutes. And think about how many people drop off in that first minute or two. But look at this. Once we get down to about 30% of the people sticking around, they pretty much stick it out through the whole thing and hang out all the way to the end. And they just bail out. Most of them just bail out at the end when I say take it easy and I play some music there. So I think that's pretty cool. So if that's something you're struggling with on your YouTube channel, Pam specifically, but all the rest of you as well. Whoops, I accidentally bonked out of a screen there. My bad. The rest of you guys, take that to heart and don't worry so much about immediate drop off, etc. on the end of that. So why don't we just jump one more time in and see what we're missing here. Oh, I see. Jen says I was pulling a Rob by going so long. It's been an hour and 40 minutes plus the 5-minute pre-show. So this Tuesday's was the funniest. He said it'll be an hour, 90 minutes max. Over 2 hours later, he's still going strong. I know. And we were telling him in the chat, hey, watch the time. Don't forget, I thought you had something you had to go to. He literally does not know how to end a call. He runs over cloud. I bet he's like that in the coaching calls too. He runs over quite often. Yeah, that's good to know. So, you think you're about done and you see a comment asking a question, you know how to answer it. He wants to be helpful. Somebody wanted to know how to do something in Ecamm or something like that, or in CapCut. He's like, well, I got to show him. And took another 10 minutes on his time, FQ40 says using CapCut and then upgrading DaVinci Resolve later this year. Okay. Oh, this is actually Peter speaking to FlightQuest. Sorry. What was FlightQuest? Okay, so FlightQuest is Peter using Photoshop for editing. So yeah, Photoshop would be for graphics, like for doing your thumbnails. And he answers, I'm using CapCut and then upgrading to DaVinci Resolve. So I suppose you're going to do some classes on DaVinci as you learn it. DaVinci. as you learn it. Sorry, I lived in Italy. I pronounce things the way I learned to say things when I lived in Italy. So I say Da Vinci on habit. Sorry, it's a habit that goes back to when I was 15. Da Vinci Resolve. I myself use Final Cut Pro on a Mac, and I'm glad I do. I love it. So Rob takes so long to answer a question. I can't stop watching, though. He's so encouraging. He is the most encouraging and optimistic person north of the 41st parallel. Your second to last point, Scott, works for my videos of those. Okay, so that's good. You do the trick where you wait till the end of your video and record your intro then. Very good, yeah. And FlightQuest says, thanks, I'll be sure to hook up to your channel. I'm mostly a Photoshop video editor. How can you edit videos in Photoshop? You can't edit videos in Photoshop unless there's something I don't understand. I don't know. I've got Photoshop. I use Photoshop for my thumbnails. I've got so many macros built into my Stream Deck. I should show you sometime. I've got so many macros built into my Stream Deck. Like, I've got a button that separates my body from the background as a separate layer and applies certain filters to it with one button push. I've been using Photoshop since Photoshop version 4 in 1997 or 1998, something like that. So I know Photoshop, babe. But how do you edit videos in it? That's got to be a typo, right? But definitely coming from a background in photography, you 100% have been using it, sure. And Mike says, that's cool. I need to find that chart. Yeah, the retention graph chart. Do you want me to show you where it is, Mike? I will show you. I can share Chrome here. I will show you where to find that in my, go to my YouTube. I'm going to go to my dashboard. Should have done that as a separate tab. I'm going to content. I'm going to go to the video analytics for this particular video. Is this coming through correctly? Yes, it is. Okay. And then I'm on the overview screen. I know you're on a phone, Mike, or an iPad, but no, you've got a Mac. What am I saying? You bought a Mac. So it looks like we're up to 69 views. Nice. On this video. And at the bottom, you can see the retention view. So you can see where it drops off. And the other neat thing is if you click at any point along this graph, in this little player down here, it tells you, it takes you to what that point of the video is. So if I hit play here, and then if I click in here along the way, come on, do it. Come on, take me. Why aren't you playing? Let me reload this page. I don't know why that's not working. So you click, there we go. So as I click in here, I can see this large drop off leveled off right here. So I have my intro at the beginning where I say coming up, what's coming up. And then now it's doing it. It's moving through the video. So right about here where it levels off to the 25% or so who's been sticking with me, that's from the initial trip to Hobby Lobby and then the unboxing of that painting. And then I can see, oh, there was a little spike where it went up. Why did it go up here? That's often where people will rewind a video and watch it a little bit more, something they missed, they hit rewind. So this is where I was first going live and showing you guys me going live. So somebody must have gone back and rewound that and watched it. And there's a couple of other little bumps as I was talking in the car here in this trip, and then it sort of peters off at the end. And if I wanted, I could go right here to the very end where it drops out and peters off. And yeah, that's where the video ends. Whew, that's loud. Sorry about that. Blast your windows out. Let's just rewind back to where I was. I want to go back to the page that is the studio page for this. And all right, so let's get caught up on the chat because it's time to call it a night. We're about to wrap up. So let's see, what was this say? I need to find that chart. Now you know where it is. Sometimes a video starts to autoplay in my recommended screen, and it's not anything that I'm interested in watching. Yeah, I turn off autoplay. That's a setting you can set in YouTube. But yeah, in your recommended screen, both on the browser on the computer and in your iPad and in your phone, you can turn off autoplay. I'm not a big fan of it. And I guess that impacts people's retention time because you're watching it for like 5 seconds or something. You do video editing in Photoshop. I'm going to have to learn how that works. I've never knew you could edit videos. After all these years, still teaching old dog new tricks. Wow. I'll have to watch a YouTube video on how to do video editing in Photoshop, or maybe I'll shoot you a private message or something like that, or I don't know. Photoshop, pull down window and go to timeline way at the bottom. Huh. I believe you. I just didn't know that was something that Photoshop can do. Cool. Bye, Allie. Allie had to drop off. Tyler's laughing at the fact that it's been an hour and 45 minutes plus the 5-minute pre-show. Good night, everybody. And everybody's saying all caught up. And Jay dropped me another silver star. Thank you, buddy. Oh, you're awesome. You're a great value for value friend. You're going to get the laser show. You did it to get over 300 XP to put you at number 3, right? Very good, my man. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Why don't we listen to that new super cool theme music one more time and give that a listen, and I will talk to you guys. Adios. Thanks for watching. I love you all. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.